The Union are off to their best start in club history, and they look to keep it going tonight against Charlotte FC here in Chester at Subaru Park as they return from a 2-week break. Welcome into Union Pre-Kick Live alongside former Union star Sebastian Letou. I'm Jeff Skversky. Wow, what a start by the Union to this season. 4 matches, they are undefeated. Best start in team history. Unbelievable. They're atop the Eastern Conference, tied for the best record in Major League Soccer. What has been most impressive to you, Sebastian, about the start by the Union?
It's the fact that they click offensively. They score goals at every game they play this year, and they've been undefeated. So a great defense, as we knew, from last year. But since it was a couple of change offensively, kind of the click of the offense with Carranza coming in the team, with Santos, with Burke, and Bedoya scoring the goals was amazing. And I think they keep doing the same today against Charlotte.
And you talk about the offense, some more firepower on the way. New Danish striker Michael Uwa, he is expected to make his home debut tonight here in Chester off the bench. He's been very limited so far to start the season. Only 1 match, 22 minutes here against Montreal last month. And look, he's dealt with visa issues. He had a delay there. Then he dealt with that quad injury. Sebastian, it's a long season. How important is it to make sure you manage his quad injury? The season goes to October. You don't want to rush him out there.
Yes, it's very important, especially, like I say, the Union offense is doing very well right now. So there's no pressure on him to really start and scoring goals for the team. So having a little injury in his squad, push him back a little bit, maybe on the bench today, and hopefully come in the game and show what he can do, especially at home for the first time.
From what you've seen from him so far in limited action and what you know about him in the Danish league, how much of an impact can he make on this team?
I mean, he made great runs. We saw it just in 15 minutes against Montreal, and the team was at 10 against 11. And it was not a lot of offense for him, but he got an opportunity, 2 opportunities in the game to score goals. Unfortunately, he didn't score, but I think with his movement, he can really help the team in a space like a Santos, but he can really be a good finisher in the box as well.
He's only been practicing with the team for about a month. In your experience, how long does it take to get comfortable with a new team?
It's very hard to tell. It's a bit about each player, but I think the fact he's been here since a long time now, having more practice with the team, not playing right away after just coming from Denmark, I think it's good to know his teammates, know the movement, and for his teammates as well, know exactly what type of movement he likes to do in the box, or even like making long runs like he can do against Montreal we just saw. So I think it's great for him to really be integrated into this team, very nicely. And I think when now he's going to come on the field, he's going to know every name of the player he plays with and call the ball and try to score the goals.
Yeah, Michael Uwa finally had a full week of practice leading up to this match tonight against Charlotte. Again, he's expected to come off the bench perhaps in the second half as a sub-in tonight. And even this week, Jim Curtin, the head coach, admitted perhaps he was pushing him a little bit too much. He was excited to get him out on the pitch. Here's Jim Curtin about Michael Uwa.
Yeah, so to get him on the field as quickly as possible and maybe pushed a little too hard.
And you hear it right there from Jim Curtin. Perhaps he pushed him a little bit too hard. He's excited to get him out there. How excited should Union fans be about this new star?
I mean, we are all excited. I think the fans are, we all are. We want to see what he can do on the field. But I think Roy is very excited as well. I talked to him a little bit like a couple of weeks when he came here to be introduced to the fans. And you can see the excitement. He wanted to play right away for the team. And it's great to see. But maybe this push to a little injury and, them having him, try to come back too quickly for the team. But now I think having him on the bench could be a great weapon to get some goals if the team need.
All right, let's talk about tonight's opponent, Charlotte FC. They come into play winners of their last 2. They got off to a brutal start. Look, they're an expansion team. They lost their first 3 matches, outscored 6-1 in that span. But since they have wins over Cincinnati and New England, how do you think the Union match up against this expansion team tonight?
I mean, like you say, expansion team is very hard to start, and we saw, like you say, a brutal start with 3 losses, but they got 2 wins at home, and away it's a very different team. So I think the Union need to really keep pressing pressure on this team who is not very comfortable playing away. You can see they got much more comfortable playing at home in front of their big crowd, which is a huge energy for this new team. But when you play away and you have those 40, 50,000 fans who come to see this game in Charlotte, it's very different. So I feel like it's going to be a great, matchup for Union right now because they're in a good form as well and they can really get another win at home.
I imagine it's not easy for the Union to really scout this team, for Jim Curtin to do a lot of homework. There hasn't been a lot of matches. So how do you prepare for a team like this?
I think it's just about what they have been playing, I think, away, because they play differently away and at home. But I think the fact that their defense is maybe a little bit like not as fast, as other, defense they play this season, they can really like attack them in a different way with, of course, the three forwards and Gazdag, but with, of course, Ariel and Wagner on the left and right who can really give good crosses. So it's going to be interesting to see what type of, tactics Jim Curtin is going to put on the beginning of the game to see how they're going to attack this defense of Charlotte.
You've been a part of two expansion teams in Seattle and then here in Philadelphia. How difficult is it as an expansion team, as a player on an expansion team, to get wins, to get into a situation where you're able to gel and beat teams?
It's very hard, and especially I would say with Seattle, it was pretty much the same thing than Charlotte. We already have a stadium, so you have the fan right away. In Philadelphia, we play, as of the 11 first game, 10 away, which is very hard, but it's not the case of Charlotte. So they kind of get a vibe of their fan, everything. In Philadelphia, it was a bit different, but with Seattle, it was the same. We had a great start at home, but away, it was a bit difficult to get some points. So I think it's where Charlotte is at right now.
Well, Jim Curtin's been pushing all the right buttons to the start of this season, undefeated. And we take a look at the starting lineup tonight. They will not have Alejandro Bedoya.
No, it's the only change for the win against New York City FC. It's the same defense with, the four in the back, and in the midfield you see Martinez, and it's Sullivan who is going to take in charge of Bedoya's position with Gazdag on curve number 10, a very hard guy for the team, and Carranza and Santos, who really worked very well together in the beginning of the season, even in the preseason, and Jim Curtin, put them in front again for tonight.
Alejandro Bedoya, their captain, out tonight. He dealt with some soreness in practice yesterday. They are keeping him out for precautionary reasons. So Andre Blake, he'll be the captain tonight. As far as Charlotte, let's take a look at their starting 11 tonight. Sebastian, run us through this.
So Charlotte's going to play like as a 5 in the back, and with Cororo, Waltz, and Fuchs, more in the 3 in the back, and you have Lindsay and Mora, who's going to try to kind of bring some offense when they have time, but more defensively at first. And then you have Bronico as a holding midfielder, Ruiz and Bender, and Alcivar as a number 10 for this team, more as a diamond midfielder. And of course in front, Skversky, who have been the top goal scorer for them, really hot as well. They need to really be careful in the Union defense of Skversky because he can be really dangerous.
What player out of all these guys out here will give the Union their toughest match tonight?
I think it's Skversky, just because of his experience. He's been, a great goal scorer right away, and it's hard, for a new team scoring as many goals as he has been doing, but he has been scoring the goals at home, not away. So hopefully Glesnes and Elliott can really communicate very well between them to know exactly where he is, and they can really not giving good chance for him to score the goals.
We will talk more about Skversky coming up later in our pre-show. More from the Union. Pre-kick live. Coming up, a one-on-one with the newest Union star, Michael Uwa. And we'll get Seba's keys to tonight's match with our eye on the pitch. And we'll hear from the men calling the action. That and more when Union Pre-kick live returns from Chester. A near sold-out crowd expected here tonight at Subaru Park here in Chester. Hopefully the Union give their fans something to cheer about. Back live here for a Union Pre-kick live. Jeff Skversky alongside Sebastian Letou. Sebastian, your keys tonight with our eye on the pitch here. 2 keys. Number 1's going to be pressure the back line.
Yes, pressure the back line is very important, especially at home. Coming back after 2 weeks of rest, they need to show that it's a fortress. They want to score the goal quickly against the Charlotte team, who is not really sure playing away and give a lot of goals. So I think pressing the defense, especially those older guys in the back who are not very fast, is very important to make them lose the ball, win it high, and score the goal quickly.
And number 2, overlap the fullbacks. Talk about that.
Yes, it's very important, especially for the Union. Their strength with Ariel and Wagner. We saw the goal in New York City FC. Ariel giving a great assist on the second goal from Gazdag, and Wagner always, maybe need to push a bit more on his left side. We didn't see a lot this year from him, but we know what he can do. So every time you have some help from the fullback, you can have Sullivan and Flag playing more inside, and have the forward and Gazdag finishing the chances. And when they do it, they're unstoppable and they score a lot of goals. So hopefully they keep pushing forward and they get good crosses in the box.
Let's talk about our impact players tonight, starting with Julian Carranza. He's been great to start the season. The Union forward tied for the team lead with 2 assists. Nice start to his first season in Philadelphia after coming over from Miami. He's a little banged up coming off his international play, but Jim Curtin expected him to get through it and play tonight. Here he is getting set for the match against Charlotte.
Yeah, he has been very good. I think, lots of great play from him, lots of great movement with Santos. The only thing is the red card he got in Montreal, who didn't keep him off the field for 1 game, but it's great to see him back and, pair with Santos in front tonight.
Well, there's no question he will help the scoring that's already on fire. Union have scored at least one goal in 18 straight matches, longest streak in club history. A big reason for that, Daniel Gazdag, their leading scorer. He has scored a career-high 3 straight to lead the Union in goals. He is looking more and more comfortable in his full season and having a full offseason.
Yeah, he's been really settled in this team this year, right away from the start, having 3 goals, best scorer of the team so far. And you can see his confidence, how he's been playing as a number 10, his movement. You know, you can really understand with Carranza, Santos, and hopefully with Ura coming in the team. Really, his movement is great to see this year, having him, you know, on the score sheet.
As far as the impact players for Charlotte, among the players the Union looked to stop tonight, we talked about him in the last segment. Charlotte FC striker Karol Skversky tied for the MLS lead in goals. Skversky has 4 of Charlotte's 6 goals, all of them coming in the last 2 games. Sebastian, how do you contain a player like that? Obviously, he's a big focus during the week leading up to the match.
He has a good speed. I mean, I saw him play a few games, and you know, a great left foot. You can see he can strike the ball from everywhere. He's very powerful strike, and don't give him a lot of space to kind of push the ball and have a strike, because he's not going to be shy to shot outside of the box. So I have to say, always be tied to him will be a great key for Glesnes and Elliott tonight.
Certainly so. A threat inside and outside. Charlotte's other top player, midfielder Ben Bender, the first overall pick in the MLS Super Draft and former Union Academy player. Bender leads Charlotte with 3 assists, and he's starting to come into his own. He had his first goal in their first win of the season against New England. And now, how do you stop this kid?
I mean, you know, as a first pick of the draft, you know, you always expect the best from him, and he really have delivered with 1 goal and 3 assists. I think he has been really in his team, not from the beginning. He didn't play the first game, but he come in and really, you know, give a lot of great offense to them. So it's great to see for them, but hopefully tonight he's not going to be as good as he has to be.
Well, let's hope not. Let's hope the Union can contain that kid. For more on tonight's game, let's check in with the guys calling the game, JP and Danny. Guys, up in the booth.
At the end of the night.
Looking to keep this red-hot start going to this season. Best start in team history. When we come back on Union Pre-Kick Live, Danny returns with a one-on-one with new Union star Michael Uwa. Find out what he thinks his biggest strengths are as we lead up to kickoff between the Union and Charlotte. Coming up next. Union goalie and captain tonight, Andre Blake, coming off back-to-back clean sheet shutouts against New York City and San Jose. 3 saves in the last 2 MLS matches. All eyes on him tonight here against Charlotte. Back here on Union Pre-Kick Live alongside Sebastian Letou, the former Union star. I'm Jeff Skversky. Now, hopefully we will see new Union star Michael Uwa tonight. He's expected to come off the bench and sub in to make his home debut. And if he does so, he'll make history in the process, becoming the first Danish international player to make his debut in a Union uniform here at home. And Danny Higginbottom went one-on-one with the new Union striker. Take a listen. The Union getting set for their first MLS match in 2 weeks. Can they stay red hot and keep this unbeaten streak alive? Time for our predictions in our Watching You segment presented by Independence Blue Cross. Tonight I am watching Nathan Harriel. A look at the defense, trying to keep this defense going, coming off back-to-back shutouts. He was just named to the MLS Team of the Week coming off his performance against New York City. What are you watching tonight?
I'm going with Daniel Gazdag. He's been scoring 3 goals in the last 3 games for the Union. He's red hot. He's back at home, and I really feel like he can be again involved in the Union goal tonight. So hopefully he does it and he scores another goal.
Union looking to keep their best start in team history going tonight. 5th match of the season tonight against Charlotte FC here at Subaru Park in Chester, Pennsylvania. For former Union star Sebastian Letou, I'm Jeff Skversky. Stay tuned for Union Soccer against Charlotte FC, the newest team in MLS soccer on PHL 17.